Now, one of the questions that I get from my viewers, or I got rather from my viewers when we were doing our construction project, was concerning the plan. Because we know that the plan is one important aspect when it comes to building the house. So they asked, where do we even go to register this plan? What kind of plan must we have, for you to look at this plan and say these ones merit to be approved? What are some of the factors that you look for in that plan that has been submitted by an architect? And can I do my individual plan and submit it to you without an architect's perspective or approval? Then you just approve.
First of all, construction sector is controlled by the government or regulated by government.
Okay.
And it's empowered through legislation. We have County Government Act that gives government authority in approving the plans. We have Fiscal Planning and Land Use Act that gives a way forward on the matters of planning and construction. And first of all, I want to tell you that county government, whichever county government, is the one that have been given a mandate to regulate construction.
Hi guys, and welcome to Life with the Wanjalaz. This is Wanjala, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you for being so consistent in supporting our channel. Now we are actually on the journey to 1,000, and as of today we are just about 960 subscribers. So thank you so much. We are only 30 something people shy of the 1,000 mark. So we have really come a long stretch just by your support and love for the channel. Thank you so much. So today I have a guest.
Yes,
I have brought you an expert. So remember guys, we are telling you the story of how we are becoming first-time homeowners in Kenya and doing it ourselves. So it is a DIY method, do-it-yourself method. So we are not civil engineering experts. So part of these things we have been doing through trial and error along the way, and so we decided to tell our story so that more people can learn from our mistakes, so that they don't repeat our mistakes. So today I have my guest. He's going to introduce himself, atueleze yeye ni nani, and then from there we will get off with this conversation. Yeah, karibu.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, viewers, wherever you are. I'm senior fiscal planner Andrew Barasa Care. I work with the county government of Bungoma, specifically the Department of Bungoma Municipality, where we deal with so much issues in construction, building approvals, construction sector. I think this is a forum where we'll share. I know you have so many concerns in construction, and we'll share a lot. I have experience of around 8 years in construction, in planning, and I'm a member of Kenya Institute of Planners. These are a professional body that governs the planners, and we have worked in the building sector many times, even in the construction, in the planning of the towns, and the members and viewers, welcome. We share a lot.
Wow, thank you. That's super. So we are sitting with an authority in matters planning, urban planning, not just in Kenya alone, but really globally. Because once you are a member of such a body, you are actually a contributor globally. Right.
Okay.
So thank you so much. Now, one of the questions that I get from my viewers, or I got rather from my viewers when we were doing our construction project, was concerning the plan. Because we know that the plan is one important aspect when it comes to building the house. So they asked, where do we even go to register this plan? What kind of plan must we have, for you to look at this plan and say these ones merit to be approved? What are some of the factors that you look for in that plan that has been submitted by an architect? And can I do my individual plan and submit it to you without an architect's perspective or approval? Then you just approve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. First of all, construction sector is controlled by the government or regulated by government.
Okay.
And it's empowered through legislation. We have County Government Act that gives government authority in approving the plans. We have Fiscal Planning and Land Use Act that gives a way forward on the matters of planning and construction. And first of all, I want to tell you that county government, whichever county government, is the one that have been given a mandate to regulate construction so that it can guide development. It can guide development and make sure that construction is done to the standard. We have what we call building code. So that when an individual wants to build, he must follow standards that guide development. So that's why when somebody wants to construct, he have to engage an architect, a professional architect who should draw that plan according to what the client needs. And an architect should make sure that it meets the threshold or the standards that are required for the plan to be called a plan.
Yeah, by law now.
Yeah, by law.
Okay.
You see? So when the plan, now the architect draws the plan. If it's just a simple house, we just require an architect. Okay. If it's a complex plan that is a story, you have to incorporate what we call structural structural bit of it. So you need a structural engineer to draw you what we call structural plan. So we have an architectural drawing, and then we have what we call structural drawing. So these people should be also registered to make sure that what they are doing, they own the work, and the standards are met. So once the plan is drawn, now you have to submit it to authority for approvals. And this office where county government comes in now, here we have the planners, our professional in the office, we have architect in the office, we have the structural engineers in the office to check what this plan that you have submitted. So first of all, you have to attach the ownership document of where you are building. Okay. Yeah, because a house must be built on land. On land. Yes. So you must also attach that this house is going to be built on this land. Yeah. And this land, I have this ownership document. And we are an ownership document, you understand, it can be a title deed, it can be a lease, if it is the land is leased, and then it's also, we accept what we call a sale agreement. We understand that when you have acquired a property like land, it takes time for you maybe to process and acquire your own title deed. So we allow you to construct because you have bought that land and you have agreement attached on it. Okay. So those are the documents you attach to, and then you submit to our office in the counties. We have planners in sub-county level or at the headquarter level. Okay. Or wherever you are, you have planners in your headquarters or sub-county, whichever county you come from. And when you submit this plan, we look now the details of that plan to make sure that either it meets the threshold or it does not meet.
Okay, wow, that is super comprehensive. And you know, now I'm liking this conversation because you've broken down the fact that it depends with what structure you're building up. Now, my other concern, you've talked about verifying that it meets the required threshold. So are there maybe 3 or 4 things you can mention that for a plan to be approved, you know, at the authority level in whichever county, these are some thresholds that we look at for a plan? Okay. Say maybe especially a house. Let us talk about maybe a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house, because for the purposes of this video, most people wanted to just know that process of registering a plan for their house. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. For the plan to meet threshold, first of all, even I've mentioned in the earlier question is that first of all, you have that drawing now. At least you must have 4 copies of the drawing. Okay. And then you must have ownership document, that is either title deed, sale agreement or a lease. Yeah. And then when now you bring the plan and submit to the office, officers looks these factors in that plan. First of all, that officer, the fiscal planner, should go and look at the site. First of all,
it's a site visit.
The site visit. Okay. To check where you are building. Because when you submit the plan, maybe the land, the plot you are building is 50 by 100. So you look at the size of the building vis-a-vis the size of the
the
land.
Yeah.
Yes, that's in professionally we call plot ratio. The ratio where the building the covers, the surface area that the building covers, and then the surface area of the entire plot.
Yeah.
So first of all, we have to look at where you are situating this house on the land. Are you having some extra space between the boundary and your house? What we call setbacks. You know, we have a situation where somebody, the boundary, the perimeter wall, is part of the house. You see? Have you seen that situation?
I've seen those
But professionally, you must have a distance between the boundary and the house itself.
It is approximately 1.5 meters.
Yeah, approximately the minimum we can allow is 1.5 meters. So that you can walk around, and also if you have manholes, drainage system, you have a space. And it's just a common understanding that when you put part of the wall on the boundary, it means that you are standing in somebody's land as you are building. Because there's no way you will build that wall without stepping in the other person's land. So the space is very important, first of all, that planners look. That indeed the house allows 1.5 meters, and then the frontage, we have the space. You can have a parking, you can have a circulation, what we call open air space. Yes, at least there is a space outside. And then another thing we look is accessibility. Do you have road access in that plot? Yeah, you have to look at the accessibility when you are moving to that land. So those are the basic things that you look on the ground. You see, to make sure that there is enough space and the house fits. Because there are some point clients or developers, they just tell like architect, I have 50 by 100, please draw for me a plan. Without the architect, sometimes they can be Nairobi, they just draw that plan. But when you come to the ground, even that plot is not 50 by 100. It's maybe smaller, maybe 45 by 90. So you find that the house is bigger than the space. So we advise the client maybe to adjust the measurement to redraw. So another thing we look, you must indicate on the plan is the location plan, a small sketch to show where this house, this construction is. And then the details on that plan also, we must, the name of the developer must go in line with the ownership document. You see, the name that is in the plan should be the names that are in the ownership document. This is just to avoid issues of court cases. You know, if your name is Wanjalaz, you are building, but you bring ownership document called Sisimiyu, then it's not possible. It can cause some legal issues because somebody can complain you are approving this plan on my land. Even if you are building on your father's land, we must have that concept to show that this is the son, this is the father, you are building on this land. So, or even if, even if the wife, you know, sometimes people submit the plan and it's in the name of the wife, but the land, the ownership document is in the husband's name. We must get a concept that indeed these people
they have permitted
to construction. So those are the basically factors we look, and we look the plan itself. If you say 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom, as we have said, we have to look at structurally or architecturally the size of the rooms. We look at the rooms. If this is a sitting room, what is allowable measurement, bedroom, what is allowed the measurement, the size of the windows, the drainage system, if you have those manholes, the septic, the floor, and then, you know, like simply like a bedroom. The minimum bedroom that is allowed is 2.4 meters. That's around 8 feet. And we are also moving to 3 meters. So we do not, yes, you cannot submit a bedroom that is less than 2.4 meters because you allow what is the normal size of the bed, and then you must have some circulation around And then the windows, we look at the windows. If it's a self-contained house, where is the kitchen situated? Where if there is a chimney or other factors that can bring aeration in the kitchen area, and those washing areas, those are the factors we look in the plan. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing, because I just see in your conversation, I see mistakes that people do every day, either building too close to the boundary or even on the boundary.
Exactly.
I see a situation where many houses have been built, but when you come into the house, they are not well lit.
Exactly.
Or sometimes that circulation that you're talking about. So it means that for you will not approve that kind of a plan, all right? And that is actually the standard legal threshold that it must pass. That's amazing. Now, talking about costs, what are some of the implications that are considered when it comes to now paying for the plan, and what types of costs are we looking at when you come to now register a plan for your house?
Oh yeah, costing, or in terms of what we call approval fee, as per the county, what we call Finance Act, and every county, we are talking of Kenya, every county has its own costing or its Finance Act. Finance Act is produced every year. Fees and charges keeps on changing. But I will speak on behalf of see how Bungoma works, because when you are costing the plan, first of all, it depends on the nature of the house. Is this house a residential, or this house commercial, or this is an industrial or an institution? Yes. You see, it can be a residential house, or like what you said, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. That's a residential house in a farmland. We have those who build commercial. And then others build institution like a school, a church. So churches are different. You find that the residential church, when we charge a residential house, it's low. Because this is a house that you just live in, you are not making a return out of it. You see, but a commercial house and industrial, now it goes up. And then when we are charging, also we look at the locality of that construction. Somebody who's building in CBD, let's say Bungoma CBD, or just a peripheral, some few meters from Bungoma town or whichever place you are, and then another one is building far away. We have categorized in terms of urban, very urban, and the rural areas.
So it's zoned out.
It's zoned out. It's like Bungoma is a municipality, Kimberley is a municipality, Webuye not yet a municipality, but it's coming up to be a municipality. So those within a circumference of town, where we have commercials and the CBD kind of, the charges are higher. Now when you come outside, some bit outside the town periphery, very urban, the charges now becomes low again. And then somebody who is building now in the village, in the rural areas, now the charges are low. Those are the considerations. And then another consideration now, when it comes to that house, is now what you calculate. An officer, a fiscal planner, before he gives you an invoice to pay, he calculates what we call a planned area of that house. A planned area is just a service area that house has covered. You look at the service area that house has covered. If it is 10 meters by 10 meters, that is 100 meter square. So that 100 meter square, you look in the Finance Act, between maybe 90 to 100 meters square, maybe how much is supposed to be charged. So we have approval fee, we have inspection fee, and then the registration fee. Yes.
And these things might vary depending on the county that you are in.
Yes, they vary depending on the county. If you bring a plan in the Bungoma County, it might be different from Busia if you are doing. Like those engineers who submit plans in Bungoma and then they have submitted Trans Nzoia. They totally different churches.
Okay.
They are different.
And that one you said because of the County Finance
Yeah,
Act.
because of various County Finance Act.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
Now, coming to another issue concerning still the issue of costing. Now, somebody asked, does these plans have expiry periods? Do they expire once I've paid for my plan?
Okay, that's a good question. Once you submit a plan and registered and approved, it gives you fiscal planning act, fiscal and land use plan. Yeah. It gives that plan 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
It assumes that within that 3 years you could have started construction and you complete.
Yeah.
But you know, we have other multi development where construction can take long. So after 3 years elapse and you have not finished your construction, you are supposed to do what? To resubmit the same drawing.
Yeah.
The same drawing that you brought at the first submission.
With approval.
Yes. The same drawing that we approved, the authority approved, you bring them again. And then for reapproval, what we call resubmission, reapproval. We do that reapproval because we have different fiscal planning plans changing. Like a town have its own plan.
Okay.
We have what we call local fiscal development plan for a town. Like Bungoma has its own plan, Kimilili and what have you. So after 3 years, it expires. And then on that note, the Finance Act, let me say like our case in Bungoma, the Finance Act, it gives that plan 2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
So after 2 years,
yes, you resubmit.
Okay.
So Finance Act, it gives it 2 years. So we use 2 years that it is now expired. You have to resubmit.
Yeah.
But the goodness of the resubmission is that when you resubmit, the charges you will be charged is not what it's 50% of the current financial act.
Okay.
You see, for instance, if we calculate that plan of yours, let's say that residential 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, it can be around maybe, let me use example, like maybe 10,000.
Okay.
When you resubmit and when you look at the Finance Act of the current, if it is the same 10,000, you have to pay only 50%. Like you will pay 5,000. Okay. So we cannot charge the approving authority cannot charge you as if you are bringing that plan afresh. Exactly.
That's great. Now, and guys, we are following the story about how you can be able to get your approval. We are learning about the approval process for your plans. Of course, countrywide in Kenya, we realize that actually it is affected according to which county you are from. So if you are a visitor to this channel, please feel free to subscribe. We actually bring you these types of content and much more, so you are at the right place. So something else that I am compelled to ask you concerning this process of approval, then there is the resubmission process. I am sure there are people who circumvent the process such that either they get approvals for substandard drawings and substandard, things that have broken the codes according to what you were saying. Or number two, they don't really get to register their plans at all. What are the repercussions of circumnavigating and circumventing the process and failing to register?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think one thing that affects many people, Kenyans, is that lack of information. Because many assumes that if you are building a house I'm building a house on my own land, then there's no need to engage authority on approval or not. Yeah. But the law says that any structure that comes up, development, must be approved.
Yeah.
And approval process makes sure that all regulations, all standards are met. Yeah. Because you have cases where you have had a building collapsing somewhere, people are died, or in the process of construction an accident happened. Yeah. So the purpose of adhering to the process is to make sure that the substandard things are avoided.
Yeah.
First of all, to safeguard even the developer himself, to make sure that the investment he's doing it does not go to the loss
Yeah.
by meeting all the standards.
Okay.
So we are just as we have said, we have cases where people try to cut corners and try to build without approvals. But the purpose of approval is not just the authority maybe to get that fee, but to guide you. Because when you come to the office for approval, you will get expert, you get planner, you will get a public health officer, you will get a works officer. He will guide you. The drawing that you have drawn, that drawing you have submitted, maybe the structural bit of it, the way the architect or the structural engineer have drawn, it is substandard. You see? So when you bring it, it will help you to understand that indeed this structure, it is weak.
Yeah.
So when we are advised that redo the structure, then it's safeguarding your investment and also to avoid issues of accident on the site. Yeah. So, and another thing, approving a plan also, it makes you, sometimes people look for mortgages, sometimes people look for compensation. Sometimes a government can come and say we need this area, we need to acquire this land from these people. What shows and who will help you to show that indeed this is your land and this structure is yours? And for you to be quantified, for it to be quantified and to be compensated, you must have that plan.
So in other words, it can even help in future valuations.
Yes, future valuation. Yes. How can you value something that was not approved?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Right? This is interesting.
Yes. How can you value something that was not approved?
Wow.
And for you to get a mortgage in bank, people bring you must have approved plan.
Okay.
Yes. So those are the issues we look into, and general advice to the client when you bring the plan, because at some time we have new designs that coming up. You find that people are embracing open kitchen. They don't want any separation wall, like the Indian style. You have a dining here and the kitchen is just open. So people are embracing new things. But we also can advise you that maybe we have not reached that point because of our setup as Africa. Yes, or our setup as a community. We can advise you that although this is the design you saw somewhere, there's an open kitchen somewhere in Europe, open kitchen in some Indian homes, because their setup is that when you visit them, the kitchen is open, you can come and make your own coffee. But our setup, people fear, when the kitchen is open, people fear for poisoning, food can be poisoned.
It's risky,
yes, but those are the things we try to advise the clients.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so something else that I maybe wanted to also just ask, apart from now the fact that you put yourself in the risk of all those things you've explained, what would you do according to law? What is the punitive measures against any person who does not follow that process of registering a plan?
Yeah, according to Fiscal Land Use Act, any developer who develops or construct something without approval is guilty on an offense. And that person, we have one, he should be given what we call an enforcement notice. And this notice should inform him to stop construction and surrender the building plans for approval, so that we can approve that plan if the construction is standard. Okay. So there is the law gives a way where if you have started construction and you have not approved, it is not a dead sentence. You are supposed now to come with the yes, I've started construction, I've reached the lintel level or whichever level, but I've realized I've not complied. I've come to comply. We encourage people to come and comply. So it will now goes in the normal process. We look at the house, what you have started to build, if it conformed with what you have submitted, and then we approve in the normal process. You see. But when it comes to the point now you have finished construction totally without a plan, we in law we have what we call regularization. Regularization means that you have done something contrary to the law, but you can regularize it. Are you getting me? You have built the house, you have finished it without a plan, or you had a plan but it was not approved. You can bring it for regularization, where you submit a plan, we check the house. If it meets the standard, the works officer, they can check the house. If it conforms, then we can regular that construction at a cost. But also it is very dangerous to build without approval, because you are killed. And that's why at some point we have enforcement officers coming to site.
So no jail time.
It can be, the law says there is a specific fine, and also a jail term.
Okay.
And sometimes it can be bought. But sometimes it's better just come, regularize, comply with the authority, and then we move forward in the construction sector.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Something else before I forget is the issue of the changes that you can make. How much change can you make? So I came and registered this plan, this is the floor design, whatnot. But then we go to the construction, then all of a sudden I realize, I put the toilet in the wrong place. All right?
Okay.
Or I did this, I ought to have done this.
Okay.
And then I now want those adjustments to be made.
Okay.
How much is the permitted extent of change that I can do without having to resubmit another plan?
Okay.
Yes.
We have what we call minor changes and major changes on the approved plan.
Okay.
Because the minor changes, when you have submitted a plan and then you realize that your bedroom, you gave it 3 meters, maybe 3 by 3 meters, and then when you want to start constructing, you realize it is too small. So you want to move it from 3 meters to maybe 4.5 meters or 5 meters.
Yes.
And those are what we call minor changes in dimension.
Okay. Okay.
That one, you need to inform the authority, because after building, after approving the plan, it's not that you are given leeway just one contract. We have what we call periodic inspection. Yes, the planner comes and help you on siting of the house, and then works officer will be coming periodically, maybe during excavation, when you have laid the foundation slab and you start walling. At various stages, you have to involve them to come and inspection. So when you realize that what you submitted and what you want to implement on the ground, because the ground also can change. The ground is not it's not marrying with the construction. You have to inform the approval authority. You come back and say, you say, yes, I wanted to construct this house, but I've seen that this measurement and this one is not conforming with what I want. So you inform the works officer, and we can allow you for that minor changes. Sure. That's why the plan, we have what we call revision. Some revision. You have revised the plan with the minor changes. But we have what we call major changes. Major changes, now you are introducing another room. Maybe it was a 2-bedroom, and then you have now changed 3-bedroom. Or some people do, you submitted 1-story building, you reach the ground, ameongeza ghorofa 2, 3 juu ya hiyo. Those are major, it's a major, because it's a major change, because when you have submitted this story building, according to the structure, the strength of the structure that you brought and foundation, it can only support 1 floor. But now you are adding another floor or 3 floor. You are compromising the strength of the house, and it can collapse. So when it comes to major changes, you have to redraw the plan. Just look for the architect again, the structural engineer, just redo the plan. And then resubmit a new drawing, because that's just a different structure. It's just a different structure from what we approved. Wow. So the only thing you will survive or you'll be helped is that you paid some fee. Maybe you paid some fee during the first submission. When you were bringing for reapproval, maybe we'll consider the first fee you paid, approval fee, it can be also be incorporated in that.
Okay.
Yes.
With the new cost.
With the new cost.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Andrew,
yes.
For sharing your expertise with us.
Yes.
Maybe as a parting shot, what would you tell a person who's going to construct for the first time? They don't know where to start. They feel confused. They feel overwhelmed. Every person is telling them this, that, the other. What would you tell them?
I want to tell viewers that when you want to construct, first of all, you have to look for information. And this information I want to give you that when you want to construct a house, first of all, as an individual, you have all your own desire or your own thinking on what nature of the house you want to construct.
Yeah.
Is it a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom? Is it what kind of the house? So when you have that in mind, the next step is you look for somebody to draw that house, and that is an architect. A qualified one.
Yeah.
And if you don't have, you just come to planning office or works offices, you will get government who can guide you. If you don't have, who can help you to do that, or recommend you to one who can help you to come. So the architect now will draw that house according to what you wanted, because you have to meet the standards of what you desired. So when it is done in construction now, this plan now you have to submit for approval. And every county government we have offices for approval, fiscal planning offices. Others have even devolved those services to the sub-county level. It is now for approval. After approval of that plan, you have to put in your mind now the costing. You need to know the cost of this house. That's why you can engage a QS, that's a quantity surveyor. This is the person who can prepare for you a bill of quantity. Bill of quantity is simply the total costing of the house you wanted. It will tell you the material you need, how many blocks you require, how many stones you require, how many bricks you require, and the costing, the total costing of the project. You see. After that, then you have to inquire. You have to engage a contractor. Fundi, you know, people mess up by engaging quack fundis. You know, you can have a good design, a good drawing, and then it is messed up by quack fundis. You must have a contractor who is informed, who understand, and also even inquire which project you have already done.
So samples of
the project you have worked on. Yes, and so that this contractor or this foreman or your fundi can now interpret the plan and now really start construction. That's why we have NCA, National Construction Authority, that regulate the registered contractors to make sure that contractors meet the standards when they are constructed. And the importance of having a well registered contractor is that in case of a process of construction and there is a mistake, then he is liable.
Liable on his own cost.
Yes, he's liable in some damages he have done. On your construction. Yes, so it's good to have good and qualified, because those are people who are going to bring forth your dream from scratch, because this is the plan that you want now to materialize into a house. Yes.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, guys. So thank you also, Andrew, for sharing those insights. Guys, so I hope you've learned one or two things. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, you're new. This is Life with the Wanjalaz. I'm Wanjala here. Today I don't have my partner here, Renis. I have an expert, Andrew, who is an expert urban planner working with the county government, and he has shared a lot of insights and tips. So thank you so much, and we want to see you in the next episode. So please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you never miss an episode. And we really appreciate you. So far we have seen a lot of love and immense support from you guys, so we are so encouraged to keep going on with bringing you this story. So until the next episode, see you. Bye.
Thank you,
guys. This video is brought to you courtesy of this wonderful facility. So they have ample parking space, yeah, accommodation, nice restaurants in the heart of Bungoma town, a place called Sikata. Yeah, a world-class facility.